What's going on, guys? Today I'll be teaching you how to color grade your photos. I get a lot of people asking me all the time like, hey, how do you get these deep blacks in your photos, or how do you get this look in your photos? And I'm like, if I had to tell you, I'd have to kill you. Nah, I'm joking, but listen, today I'm giving you that little secret. Today I'm gonna show you how to get it done in Lightroom. I don't really know what operating system everybody uses, but I use Lightroom or Lightroom Classic or Lightroom Mobile on the phone. And if you follow those steps along, it will definitely look the same. But not every photo works the same way. So these things that I'm showing you, definitely try to tweak them in your own way so that you can be unique as well. And try to make sure it applies to your photos. Because certain things that I'm probably going to be using, it probably won't apply to your photos. Like if I'm taking down the highlights and in my photo and it makes my photo look good, sometimes boosting up the highlights in your photo may make your photo look better. So everything I'm showing you, try to tweak it in your own way, but I'll show you the overall way to get that nice deep black look in your photos. Alright, here we go.
Alright guys, I already have the photos inputted into Lightroom. That's that photo editing software of my choice. It works really well, so that's the one I'm going to be using. Alright, now let's get into it. Alright, first what I normally do is I crop my photo. I usually crop it to Instagram standards, which is 4:5. So that gives me a good idea of how it's gonna look when I post it on Instagram. Then I go into my exposure. My exposure, I will be bringing it up to about 50%. And since we're going for that dark contrasty look, we're gonna bring the contrast all the way up to about 60%. Yeah, that looks fine to me. Alright, highlights, I usually bring highlights all the way down. That's just a preference. I normally bring down all highlights in all my photos. Shadows, we're gonna bring it down to about 10%. And then we're gonna bring down whites all the way down. And then actually we're gonna bring the blacks up to about 40%. Alright. Then we're gonna go to the vibrance and saturation. We're gonna bring that to about -10, and for the saturation we're gonna bring it down to about -13. That looks fine to me. Let's go up to the textures. We're gonna bring the texture up. So what the texture does is it actually sharpens the photo, so we're gonna bring that up to about 10%. And for clarity, we're gonna bring that up too. It also sharpens your photo, but it also kind of darkens your photo as well. So we're gonna bring that up to about 20%. And the dehaze, we're gonna bring that all the way up to about 40%. Is fine with me. All right. Then we're gonna go to the tone curve. So what the tone curve does is it messes with your highlights, midtones, and shadows. So with the tone curve, we're gonna make a curve. We're gonna make a curve with it. So you're gonna put a point right there, and you're gonna put a point right here. What you're gonna do is gonna bring it down in the shadows, kind of bring it down in the highlights to right around here. Just play around with it, make it a little bit better. That's fine with me. So now we're gonna go into the hue, saturation, and luminance. And this is where we're really gonna make the look come out. This is where you're gonna be desaturating some colors, and you're gonna be saturating others and moving everything around. This is where that look is gonna come from. So first we're gonna start with the reds. We're gonna leave the hue alone, but we're gonna go to the saturation. We're gonna bring the saturation up to about 16. And we're gonna bring the luminance down to about -10. Alright, now we're gonna go to the oranges. Oranges, we're gonna go to -10. And for the saturation, we're gonna go to +10. And we're gonna leave the luminance alone. Now let's go to yellow. Yellow, we're gonna move it all the way down to -100 for the U and for the saturation. And then we're gonna leave the luminance alone. And then we're gonna go to green. We're gonna bring the green all the way down. Actually, we're gonna leave the green U alone, and we're gonna bring the saturation down all the way to -100. And for the blues, we're gonna bring it for the aqua, we're gonna bring that all the way down to +100. And then we're gonna bring the saturation all the way down to -100. And we're gonna leave the luminance alone for that. And for blue, we're gonna leave the U alone. We're gonna bring the saturation down all the way to -100. We're gonna leave the luminance alone. And same thing for purple and magenta. We're gonna bring the we're gonna leave the U alone, and we're gonna bring the purple and the magenta all the way down in saturation. And we're gonna leave the luminance alone. As you can see, the picture is coming together. Now it's that deep black, desaturated look. It's starting to come together. All right. We're gonna head to the split toning, which is right here, and we're gonna go to the blues. We're gonna go to about right here. We're gonna bring down the saturation down. It's about right here. And we're gonna go to the shadows. And then we're gonna bring it down, bring down saturation to about 10%. That's fine right here. Add some blues to the blacks. It just brings it out more. Alright, so after you're done with the split toning, as you can see, the photo's really starting to look the way it needs to look. And truthfully, the only thing I'll probably change is the vibrance of the saturation. I'll probably bring the vibrance up some more to make the skin tones pop a little bit. Bring it to like right here. And move the saturation a little bit. And yeah, that looks fine to me. That looks real good. I would post it on my Instagram. So that was a lot, and you don't really have to do all those edits again. You could just copy all those edits you did, and you could just post them onto a different photo. And as you can see, remember when I told you guys at first, even if you copy and paste it, you might have to alter your photos a little bit to make it look good. So with this one, I probably would just have to bring up the exposure. And boom, it looks really good. And same thing with this photo. Just probably have to bring up the exposure and crop it. and angle a little bit better. And boom, looks really good. Same thing with this photo. This one, I probably could leave it alone. I don't even have to do anything. Probably just bring down the exposure a little bit. There you go. Looks pretty good to me. Alright guys, so this is how I edit my deep black photos. Let me know what you think.
Alright guys, so that's it. That's how you make your photos look super dope. That's how you stand out from the rest. And like I said, don't forget to put your own little twist on it and make it your own style. But thank you guys for checking out my channel. Like I said, like and subscribe and come back for more because I'll be posting more of these tutorials all the time. Alright, peace.